This month, headlines everywhere said the same thing. Neanderthal men chose human women. National Geographic called them prehistoric Romeos. A Spanish newspaper said Neanderthals picked their partners. It spread everywhere in days. Here's the problem. The actual scientific study never said that. This isn't really a story about Neanderthals. It's a story about how a careful, uncertain scientific finding turns into a confident, clickable headline in less than 24 hours. Today, we're going back to the actual study and looking at what it really found. Here's the real finding. In people today whose ancestry traces outside Africa, Neanderthal DNA shows up unevenly across your chromosomes. It appears fairly often on your regular non-sex chromosomes, but on the X chromosome specifically, it's much rarer. That's it. That's the actual data point. The researchers then asked, why would that pattern exist? And they proposed a few different possible explanations: natural selection, sex-biased population movement, or partner preference. Their own conclusion was careful and cautious. Partner preference was one possible explanation among several, not a confirmed discovery. Here's what almost none of the headlines mentioned. The leading scientific explanation isn't romance, it's genetics. When two closely related but distinct populations interbreed, hybrid offspring can face something called reduced fertility, especially in one sex, a well-documented pattern across many species, not just humans. If Neanderthal-human hybrid males were less biologically successful at reproducing, Neanderthal DNA on the X chromosome would have been filtered out by natural selection over thousands of generations, with zero romance involved at any point. That's not a smaller story, it's a stranger, more mechanical one, and it's what the actual scientists think is most likely. So how did an uneven genetic pattern with several possible causes become Neanderthal men chose human women in the span of a single news cycle? Science journalism moves fast, and ancient romance is simply a much easier story to click on than X chromosome selection bias. One outlet used the phrase partner preference, a term from the actual paper, and by the time it passed through 3 more outlets, it had become a confirmed love story, complete with the word Romeo. This happens constantly in science reporting. A cautious, hedged finding gets flattened into a confident headline, and the caveats disappear first. Here's a genuinely interesting Neanderthal genetic story that got far less attention. At a cave site called El Sidrón in Spain, researchers analyzed the remains of at least 12 Neanderthals. Among the adults, 3 males shared the exact same mitochondrial DNA lineage, which is only passed down through mothers, but 3 females each carried a completely different lineage from one another. The likely explanation: this Neanderthal group followed what's called a patrilocal system. Males stayed with the group they were born into for life, while females moved between different Neanderthal communities, likely to avoid inbreeding. The same reason many human societies throughout history have done exactly this. It's a real, evidence-based glimpse into how Neanderthal social structure worked. No headlines called this one romantic. It's arguably more interesting. This isn't just a story about one headline, it's a pattern that repeats across almost every viral science story you've ever seen. A hedge-filled, uncertain finding goes in one end of the media pipeline, and a confident, simple narrative comes out the other end. The original researchers usually aren't the ones exaggerating. It happens in the retelling, headline by headline, until the caveats are gone completely. Next time you see a dramatic science headline, "Scientists prove, new study reveals," It's worth asking what the actual paper says underneath it. So no, Neanderthal men probably didn't choose Homo sapiens women, at least not in any sense the actual data can support. What the science does show is stranger and more interesting. A genetic fingerprint shaped by biology, migration and reproductive mechanics playing out over tens of thousands of years, and at a completely different site, real evidence of how Neanderthal communities structured themselves. The real story didn't need a Romeo, it just needed someone to read past the headline. If you want more of history's stories cracked open with the actual evidence, subscribe. New episodes are coming.